Ready?
I'm ready.
Welcome to Crazy Color!
So yeah, so this is a semi-permanent color line. So it's different than permanent and demi-permanent lines. Remember that when you're formulating.
Awesome. Awesome. We'll have a lot of good bloopers.
I know.
Hey guys, my name is Mikey Ferrer.
And I'm Justine Deal, and we are here for Tribeca Color Salons and Crazy Color to do another tutorial for you guys. I'm super excited about this one. This one's gonna be really fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of like super like practical, like what happens in the salon. Like
yeah,
we're actually trying to do like a pastel, and sometimes you don't get light enough. So
yeah. You get tons of people all the time that have really dark hair and then they want to be pastel, and if you're doing it all in one sitting and you still want to keep the integrity of the hair, it's important to be able to express to them that it might not happen in the first session, and it's something that you'll have to kind of work into.
Yeah, and it sucks because like we want to like get you as light as you want and do all those pastels, but sometimes it's just not the right call.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what happened today. So we already have a model pre-lightened, and we're just gonna kind of bring her in and do a consultation and just kind of the stuff that you're gonna do in the salon yourself, and we're just gonna be using Crazy Color.
Awesome, I'm excited.
Okay, so this is our beautiful model, Elena. So she was so kind to come in and be a model for us today. So we just went ahead and pre-lightened her. We did a combination of baby lights and balayage inside of foils to kind of get her lighter. She came in with a previous balayage that was a little bit, well, way lower on her head, and it was way brassy. So we definitely got her a lot lighter. There are definitely some pieces in here that are at a level 10, but we definitely have some 9s and 8s in there, which is why we kind of decided not to go the pastel route.
This is pretty much just like the reality of how light we can get somebody most of the time. So we still want to keep the integrity of your hair in good shape, so we don't want to over lighten you. So sometimes it's just not in the cards for somebody to be that pastel. So what we can do is kind of work with the pieces that we did get pretty light, just to use it to our advantage and get some of those pastel shades in there and just make it a little bit more dimensional. But basically what we're going to be doing is, since there is a little bit of warmth in there, we're just going to kind of work with that and make it a little bit more like a teal.
So we do have some pieces, especially around her hairline, that are at a level 10. So like he said, we're gonna be doing, she wants like the blue jade. That's her like dream out of the Crazy Color line. But you know, there is so much yellow in there. So on the level 10s, when we apply our formula, she's definitely gonna have that true like blue jade tone to it. But everywhere else, you know, what happens when you put blue on top of yellow? It's gonna be more green. So we are changing the formula up, adding in a little bit of the lilac to counteract some of that so that it's not super green.
Alright guys, so I'm going to be talking to you about our formulation and what we're going to be doing to give her our teal color. So we're going to be going in and using 20 grams of both the lilac and 20 grams of capri blue. And then we're going to go in and use 10 grams of sky blue.
And the reason we're doing that is because she loves the blue jade, which is right there. So if we were to put that on top of this yellow, it wouldn't look like that. It would be some other kind of mess.
Yeah.
So we're doing those formulas because we, you know, brainstormed in our mind with those, with the lilac and the 2 different shades of blue, also mixing with the yellow in her hair, it'll give us a close effect of the blue jade. So just using, you know, your color wheel and all your color theory and just really playing around with this, and, you know, just remember that when you're formulating.
Awesome. Alright guys, so we've already got our model prepped and sectioned out. So basically what we did is we just did the basic 4 standard quadrants. So we start at the top of her head and down to the ears, and then down the middle and the back of her head. We're basically just going to be starting at her root and working our way down. So what I like to do whenever I'm doing a one process full application is just going in and outlining each section first, just so that way I can have everything separated and nothing gets messy or in the way. So another thing that I like to touch on and just make sure that everybody understands is whenever you're doing a fun color like this, you always want to make sure that you're keeping your brush pretty clean and you don't have too much extra product on it. I know it gets a little bit hard sometimes when you're like in a salon and you're like in real life and you have another client coming in and you want to hurry up and get it on, but you just want to make sure that you're being able to like keep your sections clean and you don't have too much color everywhere. Alright guys, so as you can see, I just finished applying the color all over her roots. So So now we're going to go back in and we're both going to start applying the color all the way down her hair.
It's very difficult for both of us to paint the root on at the same time. We've tried it and failed.
Didn't work out.
It didn't work out. So now we're back. So you can always have somebody help you in the salon if you want to, but usually after you put on the root, it's way easier.
So another good thing about this color application that we're doing is since we didn't do a full bleach application and it's just a baby light, her grow out process will be a lot easier. She won't have such a harsh line as it starts to fade out. So that's another thing too that you want to keep in mind is if you have a client that's kind of like, I don't really want to have to come into the salon so often to color it, then doing like a more of a balayage look will be in her best interest. I mean, she'll still have to come in to refresh the ends, but she won't have to worry about her roots getting too bad. So Justine, do you want to talk a little bit about like as far as maintenance goes and shampooing and what they should do at home?
Yes, I would love to talk about that. So this is a semi-permanent color line. So it's very different in how it affects the hair strand and the cuticle. So with permanent and semi-permanent color, it actually is going inside of the cuticle of the hair. And that's why it lasts longer. So with this color line, it literally lives on the outside. It just hangs out right there. So any type of heat or sunlight or hot water is going to run it right off. So, you know, every time you're washing it is definitely going to fade, even if you do use cold water. So that's why you want to try and go like at least like a week in between washes. That's what I would recommend.
Yeah, and then another tip too, this is a little bit extra, but I know that like if I have a fun color, I enjoy taking my hot showers. And obviously you don't want to get hot water on your hair.
No.
So what I like to tell all my clients and what I do at home is I'll just take my shower, but I'll put a shower cap on my head so that way I don't get any water on me. And then I'll just rinse out my hair in the sink if I have to with cold water.
Another good thing is that Crazy Color has their own aftercare products. So they have a shampoo and conditioner. And what is it? They have sunflower oil, right?
Yeah, sunflower oil.
So it's super conditioning for the hair. And it has a lower pH, and that means that it's not going to open up the cuticle as much, so it's going to preserve the color for a lot longer.
Crazy Color actually also has a amazing purple shampoo. I'm like obsessed with it. I think it's just called No Yellow. It's literally perfect. I feel like
it is strong. It is good. It's a good product, especially for after you do a bleach application. You could use that on someone and it would tone out most of that gold.
Mm-hmm.
So the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the spreadability. I know we both talked about that a little bit, but especially as a salon owner, like that's fantastic if you don't have to use as much color.
Yeah,
I know.
Save you a lot of time.
Yeah, and money. So I know, like I just converted a client over from a different direct color line, and we used Crazy Color. And I'm super OCD, so with her past formula, I had it down to the gram, how much color I used. So I thought it was gonna be like totally the same, so I just mixed the color I wanted in Crazy Color, the same amount of grams as what I've done with the other direct dye, and I wasted so much color. I felt so bad.
Yeah.
But it's like you need to use maybe a third of what you would use with other direct dye companies. If you look back at some of my other tutorials, definitely when the color is on and when it is like the end result, it totally looks so much lighter. So whenever you're using it, you know, really look at the swatches and trust the swatches, because when it is on the head and in the color bowl, you and the client are gonna be like, oh my God, it's gonna be so dark. This is not what I asked for. But it always works out. It looks just like the swatch or just like, you know, what your formula intended.
Yeah, I did a shoot the other day where I used peppermint. And it was my first time using that color, and when I brought it out of the bowl or out of the tube, it was not the color that I was expecting it to be, and I was a little worried, and it actually came out like perfect.
Yeah,
so just trust it. It comes out amazing, and it comes out exactly like the swatch.
Yeah, that one looked so good.
Thank you.
You guys need to go on his Instagram and look at it.
Mikey Career Jr.
I was super jealous. I was like, why weren't we collaborating on this shoot? Huh?
Alright guys, so as you can see, we just finished applying all of her color, and now she is wrapped up in this little bun So we're gonna let this sit for about 30 minutes. You just wanna make sure that before you start letting it sit, you just go through and make sure everything is evenly saturated and there's no missing spots, just so that way you don't have any holidays when you're done.
All right, you guys, so this is the end result. We are obsessed with this.
It's so pretty.
Yeah. I feel like I'm so excited that it actually worked, what we were trying to accomplish with the formula.
Giving me like sea witch vibes.
Yes. But in like the best way. All right, so I'm gonna turn her a little bit. You can see from the side here, there's just so much dimension in there. So just like we talked about how the light level 10 pieces picked up more of that blue, especially around her face. And then everywhere that had that gold, it's more of that teal, like blue jade. So it's like,
I think that using the lilac definitely helped out, so that way it wouldn't be like too green. Yes. And it's more of like a teal where it was darker. Yeah. Which I love.
Yeah, so if you have someone who's at like a level 9 and they want a blue, like lilac is great and you'll really get a true blue. Yeah. But with her, where she was like more of like a level 8, 8.5, it's like we needed like that lilac. And then we also knew it was going to be a little green, but we wanted that. Yeah. So just spin her around a little bit. And I love the shine that it gives. Yeah. Just looks super healthy. So how are you feeling about it? Do you like it?
I love it. It's so cute.
I love it too. Awesome. Well, if you like this tutorial, always feel free to give us a shout. Let us know what other tutorials you want to see.
Yeah, definitely. Send us a message. Let us know what you want to see, what colors, what techniques, anything you guys want to see.
Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram. My Instagram name is @JustineDeal.
And mine is Mikey Ferrer Jr. We'll link it down below in case you can't like spell it.
Yeah, we'll figure out how to do that. Yeah. All right, awesome. All right, thank you everyone.
Bye.